Okay, welcome to the channel. Okay, again, I apologize for that. Welcome to the channel. We are broadcasting again today on the subject of what are you streaming with. And this video primarily is for those small churches that are on a budget. Like our church, we're on a budget. And we really don't have the luxury of having a whole lot of money. Matter of fact, we don't have no money. And so we found ourselves trying to stream our services live as best that we can. It's always been said, and I say it to you today, that use what you got. Whether or not you're just going to use your cell phone to go live on Facebook or to go live on YouTube, you still can use your cell phone, use your iPad, whatever you're using at your church, based on what your budget is. When you want to up your game up a little bit, you want to improve the quality of your stream, improve the quality of your feed that you got going out to those that are watching. Then you might want to step the game up to a better camera. And I'm streaming this off today. I'm record this off of the Panasonic GH5, which is probably too rich for some churches' blood, particularly small churches who we're just doing the best that we can to get by. But there are ways that you can find cameras like these, different ones that I have throughout my studio. I have some Sonys, I have some Canons, and I have some camcorders, and camcorders are great, particularly when you think of how long that your services are. Some of us had long services till just a regular camcorder is going to time out in a few minutes, 30 minutes or more, and you're going to need some extended time. So there are certain cameras only going to go 29.98 minutes, and you're going to be timed out. If that be the case, then you probably need to go to continue to go with your cell phone, iPad, or go into a better camera, which I have a Sony AX43. I streamed on a Sony AX33 for a number of times for a year or two. That's what we started out with, and Canon M50, and we used that Canon M50 DSLR, and we did primary recording. And I did record because there's a thing that I hear from a lot of bloggers, a lot of YouTubers, and when they talked about the cameras and everything, they really talk about B-roll. B-roll is very important to your church, that you might need B-roll. What B-roll is just recording. Perfect example, this past Sunday we did not have any internet. We didn't discover it, didn't have any internet until it was too late. Service had already started, and we didn't have any internet. In fact, so we didn't get internet until the next day. But I did use B-roll. I did record the services using my device. I used my ATM Mini device and A10 Mini Pro, and I used that and I recorded off the service on SSD, as well as I used my other streaming device that I used, that my YOLObox, my YOLObox Pro. I used that. What I normally use for streaming, I just recorded off of it. So I had two recordings of the services, and as soon as we got home from church, what we did was we just uploaded those services on YouTube as well as Facebook, and we went from there, and then we upload those on those platforms, and we was able to get our service out there live. We didn't get, but thank God we did do B-roll, so we did have a backup. And maybe your case, you might be somewhere that the service will go down. Even on your phone, you might lose service on your phone that you can't stream. You need to have some other way to get your stream out. So that's what we're talking about. What are you streaming with again today? And primarily talking about small churches. And make a note, B-roll, always have a backup. And also not just have a backup is that once you get that backup, once you do that, you can always in post fix and correct whatever may be. You just never know what comes out of our mouths even at church. We just don't know what comes out of our mouths. There may be some unwanted things that may be said that you don't want to get out, and you need to be able to delete those. So B-roll will help you do that. Now, I don't know how you are doing. I got several devices that I use. I have them here, but I don't see. Let me get the first one. Excuse me for a moment. A very expensive option for streaming and for editing your stream is very expensive, but you can go and go into using what I use on my services is YOLObox Pro. I have two of these devices. I have one that I use in my studio here at home, which is just a regular YOLObox, but it's YOLObox Pro, and you can take this around everywhere with you, and you can get up to 4 cameras, feed up to 3 cameras with it, along with a USB camera if you so choose to do that, as well as it has SD card. Not only does it just have an SD card, it also has a LTE card, which is what you use in your cell phone, so you can get 5G off of here. So if you go visit somewhere, you can throw this in your backpack, take it with you, hook your camera up. Out in the park somewhere, you still can go live in the park, just the same what you would with a phone, but you get better streaming and more streaming options. That's the more expensive route to go, but all small churches can come up with something like that, particularly if you just by one-man shop. You don't have any volunteers, and that's our kids don't have any volunteers, and so if you don't have any volunteers, then you're going to need something that's going to help you with the streaming. Now, I'm just trying to get you off of your cell phones, and that's okay for cell phones. You got somebody doing the cell phones for you, but you just don't get what you get with a camera. Now, if you using straight, like I say, your phone going straight into YouTube, you can do the same thing with a laptop computer. Your laptop computer, I know you say, well, on my laptop, I don't get the range because my little bitty camera that I have on it is just a FaceTime camera, and it's not going to get the full stage. And that is true. So you need a camera to go along with it, and you can take any DSLR camera, any camcorder, and connect it to your computer, and just go right into Facebook. And when you go into Facebook, you can go in just like you normally do anything else with OBS. You don't have to use OBS if you don't want to. Just go in, click on Stream Key, go Facebook Live. When you go Facebook Live, your camera is going to show up that you have connected to it. It's going to show up. You're going to select that camera and you go in the stream. Now, there's ways to do that. Now, not all cameras. Now, you got USB camera. Not all cameras, but you use USB cameras. But in particular, that's no problem with that, because just going into the USB, you're just replacing your FaceTime camera. In other words, that connection is always there. But if you're going to use your DSLR, you're going to use a video camera, or you're going to use a digital camera, then of course you're going to need a way to connection. That way you connect that is There's some expensive ways and there's some inexpensive ways that your computer would recognize. I'm trying to get too technical for you. Maybe we can break this down later, another video. But you can also use a streaming device. A lot of gamers been using these type of devices for I don't know how long they use these type of devices. This one look at here is a USB capture card by Magwell. It's very expensive, very expensive. It's $300, and you can take this device here, $300, and all you do with it is you just take your plug, the USB, and you're gonna plug this into your USB, and then you're gonna take this end of your USB, and you're gonna plug this into your computer, which you're gonna be using to stream via Facebook or YouTube. Now, once you get that in there, then you're gonna have to connect this USB into your camera, which your camera is not gonna have a USB, but it's gonna have an HDMI. So you're going to convert that from a USB to HDMI, and there are cables for HDMI, cables for that. That you would take this, your HDMI cable, just go into computer, HDMI, and run HDMI into here, and HDMI into your camera. And that camera will receive that feed and send it down to your computer, which you'll be using to upload your stream via Facebook or via YouTube, and you're streaming. That's your one solution. That's a one camera solution that you can use, and you'll get a better stream. Say, for example, your sound booth is 50 feet away from the podium, from the pulpit. You're gonna need something that's gonna reach out there, 50 foot away, and just cell phones are not gonna reach. They'll get it. You get a wide angle view, but you won't be able to see who's preaching. You won't be able to see the choir. You won't be able to. But you want to focus in on that choir, and you want to focus in on the speaker, and you want to get a good quality picture. Then you're gonna need a good quality camera. Now, not just any camera, but a good quality camera. And as I was saying, they are available. Just be careful what type that you get. And for consultation, I can show you which one you need to get. Matter of fact, the next upload that we do, we'll probably talk about the different cameras and what I had to go through with my cameras. I did a lot of trials and errors along the way, but I think we got a hand on it. Me being a only volunteer, the only one that does it. So you're gonna need some help in other areas if you're going to try to expand. But if you're just one person, I'm just giving you some things that you can do that'll help you in your church. One person operator, one man shop. That's what you want to call it. You're the only one that's there that's going to be doing it. This will help you. Amen. And that's why I'm here. I'm trying to help you. Now, that was a more expensive option I showed you. Now, a more reasonable option. Next level in a great capture card is the Camlink 4K, and it does it in 4K as well, and it's more reasonable than half the price of this one. You get what you pay for. Both are plug and play. Half the price of this one. You can get some cheaper than the Camlink, but buyer beware. You get what you pay for, and some of them are great. Some of them are no problem. I used a couple of them before that got off of Amazon. That, as I said, they wasn't the same quality as a Magwell or anything like that, but they did what they was purchased to do. And like I say, you only use the one camera. As I've said earlier, when you get up, you want to do a multi camera. You need to step it up a little bit more, where you have something that has like this, where you have 3 or 4 different cameras you can hook up to it, which that replaces having 3 or 4 of these. And remember, you only got one input on your computer that you can go from. So if you happen to have 2 HDMIs on your computer, perhaps you can do 2 two of these or two HDMI's on you, like my Mac only have two. But if you got more, then you can buy a couple of these, plug them in, have a multi-camera, and you can do it that way. Thanks again for listening to us. I'm not going to be go any further. There's just a few things I want to talk to you about. First of all, the B-roll, where you can save your church services from disaster. Don't panic, but always think about you can record your services as you go along. Then how you're streaming, how you getting it out there. If you satisfied with just getting it out there and just want to go on, that's fine. But I suggest that you would consider some of these recommendations that I have put out to you today. And you can always call me. You can always write me. You can always visit the Eastside Baptist Church, 1632 Hardin Street, right here in the city of Wichita Falls, Texas, where our motto is knowing Jesus makes a difference. Locally, I think I know just about everybody in this town, almost church-wise pastors and lay members. If you need me to come by, I will come by your church. I will look at your setup. I will see how you can go about